Alright, so this is the homework we assigned yesterday. Have a 10 molar solution of zinc sulfate. You need 150.0 milliliters of a 3 molar solution. How much of the original solution do you dilute? And the rule I gave you yesterday, the tip I gave you yesterday, was you start with the given amount of the solution whose concentration you know. So the solution whose concentration we know, this is an amount here. This is an amount here for which we know the concentration. That's what we want to start with. Okay? So we start with 150 milliliters of this zinc sulfate solution. I have to find the formula for zinc sulfate. Alright, this goes back as far as unit 3 and 4 where we're learning the balance formulas. So Zn is zinc sulfate, something with an AT ending you don't find on the periodic table. You find this on the common ions list. Okay? If it's not on the periodic table, look for it on the common ions list. Well, sulfate is right here, SO42 negative. Since I have a polyatomic ion, this must be an ionic compound. Okay? If this is charged, then I need this to be charged, and to find the charge on the zinc, I'm going to use a periodic table with oxidation numbers. Zinc has a 2+ charge. Alright, so since I have a 2+ charge particle and a 2 negative charge particle, then a balanced formula will have no charge, so this 2+ and 2 negative are going to cancel each other out, and the formula is ZnSO4. Okay, so this one was a little bit should be fairly easy to balance the formula. So it's 150 milliliters then of a zinc sulfate solution. Okay? Now then, that goes over 1. I want to use next then the concentration unit. Molarity is moles of solute per liters of solution. And the 3.00 tells us the moles of this particular solute in a liter of solution. So we're going to write it like this: 3.00 moles of that zinc sulfate, that's the solute, that's the things being dissolved. Solute is what's being dissolved in the solution. And we're going to put it over 1 liter of a zinc sulfate solution. 3 molar solution of zinc sulfate, 3 moles of zinc sulfate in 1 liter of solution. They're the same thing. Now by writing it that way, that's going to allow us then to cancel the zinc sulfate solution right here. Okay. In order to find the amount of the original solution I need here, I need to take that concentration and flip it. So here's the original concentration up here, the 10 molar solution of zinc sulfate. So I've got 2 different concentrations of zinc sulfate solution I'm working with here. And this concentration is the one I got to find an amount of. I got to flip that one. So I want to have 10 moles of zinc sulfate on the bottom. Okay, and the 1 liter of zinc sulfate, 1 liter of zinc sulfate solution on the top.
Might have to come in before school and show me this stuff.
Alright. So now we can cancel moles and the species, zinc sulfate, and I can cancel liters here and here. Okay? So what I have left now is milliliters of a zinc sulfate solution. That's what I'm looking for. An amount, how much of the original solution to dilute. So we're ready to do the math? Okay, so 150.0 times 3. Don't need to multiply by 1, but I do need to divide by the 10. divided by,
Hey, yeah, I need to go roll my windows up. Like, they're cracked, no lie.
well, I can't do that. I can write your pass to a principal.
Yeah, I need to do that. Real talk.
Way to go, Frank.
Hey, at least I almost left my sunroof open. Hey, it still don't get hot. Man, that's gonna be so wet outside my lawn. Water dries.
There you go.
What principle?
Any principal. Mr. Brooks is right down there. He might be able to help you out. All right, so we're going to multiply the two top numbers by each other, and then we're going to hit enter, and then we're going to take that number and divide by the number on the bottom, 10.0. Okay, and we get 45 here. Okay, so 45, and we need to know how many significant digits we need. In the problem, I've got 1, 2, 3 measured or calculated numbers. The measured or calculated numbers are the ones you look at to figure out how many significant digits are needed in the final answer. And I've got the one with the least digits would be this and this. They both have 3 digits that are significant. So I need 3 significant digits here. I have to have a 0 on there to have 3 significant digits. This 0 is significant because it follows a decimal place in a non-zero digit. So now I want to find the units. I've got milliliters left, and I've got zinc sulfate left, zinc sulfate solution left. But the thing is, remember we had 2 different solutions up here. We had a solution that was 10 molar and a solution that was 3 molar. Which solution is this one supposed to be? The 10 molar. So we need to make sure we're clear about which one we're using here and say that this is milliliters of the zinc sulfate solution with the 10 molar concentration. Okay, you got to specify which one you're using. All right, so that's the answer we're looking for. All right, probably the most likely way you would see this written would be 45.0 milliliters of a 10.0 molar zinc sulfate solution.
I thought those were the ones where you had to add the statement.
Well, that would be the next question. That's where B is, right down here. Okay. So B here is explain how you perform the dilution. All right. So that was A. B down here. Then, how would you perform the solution? But let's figure out how we're going to do the point scheme here for this first. Okay. All right. So putting the starting amount over 1, that means you have to have all of this, 150.0 milliliters zinc sulfate solution, all that has to be there. That's worth 1 point. Okay? Setting up the concentration unit here in this way, with all the units and all the species, that's worth a point. Okay? Setting up this flipped concentration unit, that's going to be worth a point. All right? Coming up with the answer of 45 that we got from the calculator, that's a point itself, but I want to give a point for an extra point for getting the correct number of significant digits. So the fact that they have that extra 0 on there to get 3 significant digits, that's worth a point. Okay? And then all of the units and species where they designate that this is the 10 molar concentration, that's worth a point. Okay? The key thing is that they say it's this 10 molar concentration here. That's really important. All right? So that's a total then for this problem of 7 points. Okay? All right. So hand me the paper you're grading, and I'll grade it while you're gone.
No, I'll be back.
But I'm fixing to do this next section while you're gone.
I'll be back.
Not before I get this done.
I'm just going to worry.
That's 6 points.
Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, well, okay. Let's give a point for the units and species in the answer then. Okay? Point for units and species in the answer, okay? All right. How will you perform the dilution? Now they can write it in different ways, but there are some key things here. The key thing that you need to have in this answer is that you're starting with 45 milliliters. Okay? Okay, so the key thing that we're going to start with is the 45 milliliters of solution. The second key thing is this 45 milliliters is the 10 molar solution. So that's both those are worth a point. 45 milliliters and the fact that it's the 10 molar zinc sulfate solution. Okay, and you're going to put this in, let's see, it's a 150 milliliter container. Okay, so putting this 45 milliliters of the 10 molar zinc sulfate solution in a 150 milliliter container and fill with water to the 150 milliliter mark. Okay, and so putting it in a container and filling to the 150 milliliter mark, that's worth a third point. So there's 3 points for this problem. Okay? Those are the 3 key things about that problem.
Mr. Taylor,
Yes?
I know this is off subject, but where do cows go when they're raised? They just get soaking wet?
Yeah. Now they can go into a barn if there is one. A lot of times you'll see them in a rainstorm gathering up on the trees.
That's safe.
Well, cows are not known for being real smart.
Anything about a dairy farm on Andersonville Road?
Yeah.